In this day and age, sex, politics, religion, with President Trump, you don't know how people feel. You don't want to get into that conversation with someone, especially not at dinner.
Welcome to this episode of Insights with Marsha. We're so glad to have you here today, and we have a very special guest. Her name is Elise McVay, and I call her Mrs. Manners. If I need to know anything about etiquette, she's going to have it. She's going to know it all. She has a vast background, has been doing this for decades. And Elise, instead of me trying to give your bio, because I will mess it up, you've done so many things from writing for the paper to running seminars. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about you?
Okay. So I started speaking about etiquette and getting organized and some other topics when my kids were young, because I just wanted to get out of the house. And I was giving a talk on etiquette, and someone in the audience said, "Oh, you should do a kids camp." So I said, okay. I'm originally in fundraising, and so I'd never taught. All right. So I just sort of scraped some stuff together, got some kids together, and it was just sort of born. And then over the years, as my children got older, I had more time to do different things. So some of the fun things that I did is I started out, I was a journalist also, and so I wrote a column for 10 years for the Dallas Morning News, just giving people practical etiquette advice. Yeah. And then one fun thing I did was Barbie Mattel, their PR firm hired me because they did this DVD back in the day when we did DVDs called Barbie Princess Charm School. And so I was the etiquette expert spokesperson for it. So it was fun. So I got to sit in this big Barbie chair at the Wilshire Hotel in Beverly Hills.
Oh my gosh.
And I was on 24 different news stations. Wow. And so that was a lot of fun. I did my own DVD back in the day, the Mrs. McVay's Magnificent Manners show.
Oh, yeah.
So that was cool. And then just my curriculum has evolved. We have about 60 different lessons for kids. Mm. And we also have evolved it to where we also teach adults. So we sort of do it by levels, start with pre-K and go all the way through college students and then adults. Oh. And so over the years, it's just been fun. So I've written books for the curriculum, videos. Now we have my cute little dogs. I have a Yorkie and a Pomeranian Yorkie, and they give manners tips of the day that the kids love. Yeah. So it's just been a fun and wild ride. I also started working with the Thriving Women's Network. And so something I added to my curriculum was financial literacy for kids. Yes. And so I'm on a show called Financial Freedom. And then I'm also on a show called Every Child Can Learn. Mm-hmm. So that's been a lot of fun too.
That's awesome. That's quite a career.
It's gone on a while, so yes. I'm sure I'm forgetting some things, but those are just sort of the highlights of some things that I've done. And we just love teaching classes, mostly in Dallas, but we also do them online. I've gone to different locations for corporations and fraternities and sororities. So it's just been a lot of fun.
It's such a wonderful gift to give to people.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It really is, because everybody needs it. But what percentage of people do you think know some basic etiquette? Do most people?
No,
or a lot of people?
It's a very low percentage. So I remember about 10 years ago, I went to a very well-known school, and the fraternity invited me, and then they invited a sorority to come with them. So it was about 250 students in this ballroom. Whoa. And I taught them how to set the table, utensil use. And I said, okay, so start, so then they got their meal. I said, start eating and I'll just walk around and check on everyone. I did not find one person, not one, who did it correctly. And of course, I showed them what to do. But if you've been cutting or holding your fork and knife the wrong way, it's just so hard to all of a sudden switch. It's going to feel awkward. And I just would, just like the little kids, I would just get, do you mind if I get behind you? Okay, no problem. I'd put my hand on theirs and say, okay, this is how you cut. Now put your knife here. If you're right-handed, your fork this way. And when I go out to eat, no one wants to eat with me, none of my friends, because I think I'm judging them. I'm not. However, I do notice when I look around, just very few people know correct etiquette when it comes to sitting down at the table and utensil use. So it's really interesting.
Well, we're going to be kindred spirits because nobody wants to eat with me either.
Because you are the same, that you're like, you have to do it the right way.
Well, I had a weight loss business for 20 years, and I told people you have to eat slowly. You need to put your fork down between bites, chew slowly, taste your food. And they're like, we don't want to eat with you. And I'd say, I promise I won't watch you eat if you don't watch me eat.
Right.
Yes. And one of the airlines was one of my, I did it corporately for employees. One of the airlines was my client, and I'm sitting in the airport. John and I are at a high top right by a concourse, and I'm eating, and a flight attendant goes by. Are you Marsha? I took the program. And I'm like,
oh, that's so great.
But it was John. How was I eating?
Yeah, I don't want to look like a hypocrite.
We're in a hurry in the airport. Did I eat you? So I know what you mean.
It's so funny.
That is a hoot. Out of all those,
not one did it right. No, and I think over time it's just gotten worse.
Oh, definitely.
It has. Because with COVID, actually I had a lady call me one time. She seemed, okay, something I've learned, it doesn't matter how much money you make, what kind of family you're from, either you know etiquette or you don't. I actually had a group of kids whose moms, it was called GEM, Girls Empowering Mothers. Their mothers were in prison. And one of the little brothers came to the session and he knew everything. But then I have CEO's kids who know nothing. Yes. So it's just really, really interesting. You just don't know who's going to know what.
Right. Okay. So, what do you think is the most important reason to know proper etiquette for things?
People like boundaries. People like expectations. They want to know what they're getting into. If you're thrown in a situation, let's say that you're 25 and you're at your own corporation's dinner. I'll try to tell college students, all right, someday you're going to be at a table of 8 to 10 people, a round table, and you need to know which fork to pick up. You want to know what to do. Yes. You want to know that you're comfortable and that people around you are comfortable, because we're talking about bread plates before, if I use the wrong bread plate, it throws off the whole table. Yes. So you don't want to be that person. Or what if you start eating before the hostess starts eating? And so you're eating and all of a sudden you look and you're like, no one else is eating. Oh my gosh. So you want to know what those rules and expectations are. And even if other people are doing it wrong, at least you know that you're doing it the right way.
Right. I agree. I think it gives you self-confidence.
It does. Absolutely.
Because I was one of those where somebody got my bread plate and it was really good bread that night. I was like, I want my bread.
You're like, now what do I do?
My plate and I can't take that plate.
Right.
And there's a fleeting moment where you want to go, this is a nice gentleman that has his own business. Like, didn't your mama teach you?
No. No one seems to. And the other funny thing is, I'll have friends, my mother, my aunt, whoever taught me etiquette. And then I go to their house and they set the table incorrectly. And I'm like, well, I guess, or I'll have someone come. So the little kids go home at our summer camps. They go home and they'll tell their mom or dad, because we send questions home, ask your child how to set the table. I've had parents come back and say, I've been doing it wrong all these years. I thought my grandmother, my aunt knew what they were, but I haven't been doing it right.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
Yeah. I remember my brother's children were taking an etiquette class, and I was almost a little jealous because I only picked up what mother taught us. One thing I'll never forget is, I have a twin brother and a brother 2 years older. I feel like a boy, because I would wrestle with them and everything, and they weren't always the politest people. And sometimes at the end of the meal, they go, I'm stuffed. And mother would go, I am comfortably full. Is that a good way to say it?
I think that's a nice way to say it.
And I was
like, so funny.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. But you're so right. And you want to be in a situation, you've been invited to the corporate main table.
Right.
And you don't want to make a fool out of yourself.
Exactly. And sometimes people will tell you, sometimes they won't. So I have a friend who is an executive at a large corporation, and she got to fly on the company jet. Well, the assistant to the president of the company said, okay, this is the deal. There's going to be a main table, and then there are seats over here. You sit at the seat over there until you are invited to the main table. And I'll tell kids, I say kids, young adults, that when they go into a corporate boardroom, don't just sit down. You ask someone where to sit. Just like if you go to someone's house and are a guest, just don't assume that you should sit anywhere. And you definitely don't sit at the head of the table. You let the boss or the hostess or whoever's in charge, let them do that. But don't just sit, be invited. And maybe you are going to be one of those people who needs to sit on the seats back here, but they will let you know if you're at the main table or at the kids' table.
Right. Because then your self-esteem can just go.
Right.
real quick.
Yes. I mean, you rather think that, oh, I should sit over here and then let them invite you to go to that table.
Yes. Well, you're appropriately dressed today.
Oh, thank you.
And I wish I thought to wear red. It was one of those days. I bought this as a new shirt. You know, whenever you buy a new shirt, you're dying to wear it.
Yes.
And then when you came in dressed so beautifully for Christmas, I thought, faux pas, Marsha.
Oh, no, not at all. I like to wear red. I wear a lot of red, so.
I love that color too. I do. Okay, so we're going to talk about this. We're in the holiday season. Let's talk about some holiday stuff.
Okay.
Tell me about RSVPing things, because that's a big.
People struggle with that, don't they? They really do. So I say RSVP within 3 days. And if you cannot RSVP within 3 days, call the hostess and say, I would like to check something, maybe I'm checking my work schedule, or my spouse has to check their schedule, whatever it is, or I might have someone coming in town. When do I need to get back to you by? And I've had people say, oh my gosh, they haven't made a decision. Feel free, if you're the hostess, to say, you know what? This obviously isn't a good day for you, so we'll do it another time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a polite way to say that. We'll reschedule, and then you just go on with your, I think that we all are in these group texts sometimes that's like, oh, can this day work? And then one person's like, doesn't work for me. You're like, well, no, let's have to start over. It's terrible. And I'm usually the organizer. So I'm like, okay, now what do? I don't want to offend this person by saying, well, tough luck. Everyone else can do it.
Sorry.
So whenever I get in that situation, what I'll try to do is talk to a few people ahead of time, and I'll say, Marsha and I are going out to lunch. Can you join us at this day and this time? If they can, great. If they can't, well, then we'll get with you another time.
Yeah. I like that, because I've had so many parties that it's like, it's a week before and nobody's several haven't RSVP'd and I really need to know.
Yes.
Or you're doing a dinner party and your table will only hold 10.
Yes.
And you would replace them with somebody
exactly.
else. So
exactly.
It's like that. It's okay to say,
Yes. Like, oh, this obviously isn't going to work for you.
Yeah, I like that one. Okay, well, what if you have to un-RSVP or cancel at the last minute? What do you do in those situations?
Right. In which I think some people are too fast to do. Some people are just like, I don't feel like going, and they just cancel at the last minute. We all have those friends, and you're like, I knew she was going to cancel. I just knew it. Or I have another friend who said, how many times can so-and-so get their house painted? She always would say, oh, my painter is here.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's so funny. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's just an excuse. I don't think that she just thinks, I don't feel like going. So if you have a legit reason and you really have to, just call them as soon as you can and give them the explanation.
Yes.
Or sometimes if you feel like they're going to give you a hard time, I think it depends on who the person is. Then don't give them an explanation. Just say, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I cannot make it. I'm sorry if that inconvenienced you. End of story.
End of story.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any way to make it up to them?
I would say, let's say you're supposed to go out to lunch. Can we get out our calendars and reschedule right now?
Very good.
Something. And so that way they know that you're serious, that you really wanted to make it, but you really are unable to.
Okay. What if you had an out-of-town guest with you, even if it's just like one person, and it's a party and you want to go, but you can't leave this person? What do you think about that?
So I've had that situation before. So when we've had a party, I've had people say, would you mind if I bring this guest? Not a problem at all. But if you feel uncomfortable with that, what I would do is I would call the person and say, do you know what? I really wanted to go to your party, but I have an out of town guest. If they don't want them to come, they'd say, oh gosh, all right, I'm so sorry. Hopefully you can make it next time. But they'll probably say, oh, just bring them with you. No
Yeah.
big deal.
I like that one the best. You're definitely giving them an out
Yes.
before, you're
To
not
let them
making
make that decision.
Yeah. Okay. It's so funny because in my neighborhood, I have a great neighborhood. Everybody knows everybody. We all enjoy each other. There's a book club, so it's got almost every female in the neighborhood. And, you just reply to something that we did book club was. And when we have a party, if it says start at 6:00, everybody's there at 6:00.
Oh, that's so funny.
So let's say somebody's having a party from 6 to 9, but they're not calling it a come and go. It's just a party. What do you think is the right time to get there?
I think any time after the start time.
Okay.
And if I ever find myself that we're the first ones, I'll say, what can I do to help you?
I like that.
That way and same as if you look around, and this has happened to my husband and I before, you look around, you're like, oh my gosh, we're the last ones here. Oh, let me help you clean up.
Oh, I like that.
But overall, when should you come? When should you go? Go with the flow of what the group is. If you look around suddenly and people are leaving, then it's your cue to leave.
Okay.
Because you don't want to be that last person at the party.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said, if you are, help to clean up.
Yes.
But just try to make an exit as fast as you can, just because your hosts are probably thinking, why are they still here?
Yeah. I'm always wondering, hostess gifts. Like, just give me some general ideas about what's proper for etiquette, for a hostess gift.
So flowers are always nice, but if you're going to do that, I'd say put it in a vase.
Yes.
That whatever you do, you don't want to interrupt the flow of what the hostess is doing. They're usually running around doing 20 things. If someone's like, here's some flowers, and you're like, oh, because then you feel obligated. You're like, oh, let me find a vase, and you're having more to do.
Yes.
Wine is always nice, but I always say, if you know the person's very into wine, if you're very into wine too and know what they like, that's great. If they're into wine and you don't know as much, I would stay away from that and just go with the flowers.
Okay.
But also another thing about wine is some people say, well, am I giving it as a gift or is it for now?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So my husband has a friend who's very into wine. My husband's into wine. And he said, we would have these get-togethers where we would open up bottles of wine. He said, I always would bring a nice bottle thinking that we were going to share it.
Right.
Well, the friend would take it and put it in his wine cellar. So I finally said, okay, you need to make it clear of that. I said, you hold on to it and then go up to the counter and say, okay, I want to open this just so he knows, maybe have it down by your side. And then when you get up there and you see a wine opener, say, oh, I brought this to share. And then get it corked right away. But the other thing is, if you feel like, I don't care either way, this is sort of awkward, I would get a gift bag, put the wine in there and say to so-and-so from so-and-so and say, this is a gift for you. Okay. And just leave it. So whichever. But, I always, as a hostess, I'm like, well, would you like this now? Or so I think a gift bag is nice if you don't have a preference or if you truly want to bring it to them as a gift.
I like that because I don't drink a lot of wine. So
okay.
Maybe they know I don't necessarily pick a good wine and they're like saying I'd like to have it. So
right. So yes. Yeah. And that's another thing. If whatever you like to drink, if your hostess does not drink, or let's say that you like tequila and I like wine, just bring your own. I don't think anything's wrong with that.
I'm so glad you said that because as far as drinks, there's like one thing I drink.
Right.
And so often I'm like, can I bring, I've got these, not this big, but I got little wine cups there. Yeah. How about if I just bring mine?
Right. I think that's more
Unless
than
it's a nice cocktail party, that might be okay. If it's a get together with friends.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
Yes.
Because I really, not a big drinker.
Right. But you want your drink. Yes,
yeah.
I agree.
Oh, I like that. Let me think if there was anything else hostess like. Oh, okay. Holiday party etiquette. That's my thing I'm thinking here. I remember one time, John and I went on a cruise and somebody posted pictures and I'm thinking, I wish you hadn't done that because now everybody knows I'm not at home.
Right.
So that I thought was definitely, And what about holiday parties and people that you know who I'm talking about? There's
Yes.
I'm not good with social media. There's a lot of people that are good and they want to post them. So what do you think?
I have so many opinions on that. So first of all right, so let's start with talking about the cruise. Right. Maybe you don't want everyone to know you're on vacation. And I've had people write into me and say, I was on vacation with my family and my sister-in-law posted a picture of me in my bathing suit.
No.
I thought, I would have a problem with it. Even if I thought I looked good in a bathing suit, I would not be happy. That's just not appropriate. And a lot of people, for whatever reason, they don't want to be posted. And what if you don't like the picture? Because everyone judges a picture from how they look, right? The first someone says, I took our picture, your eyes go to you.
Yes.
And you're like, well, I look terrible. Well, you look good, but I look terrible. Well, you don't.
No, you look great.
Right.
No, I don't.
No, I don't. I don't like how I look. So I think that you should always ask people before you post. But anytime I've had, let's say, a birthday party or something, I've said on the invitation or whatever, I've just made it clear to people, please don't take pictures and post.
And put it on the invitation.
Yes.
I like that.
No pictures, please, or no social, please, something. But just make it clear, because I know when I see people at a luncheon or like, I'll think, I thought I was friends with them. I guess I'm not as good at friends with them as I think, right? A lot of people think that.
Yes.
So you don't want to offend anyone. So I think parties in general, it's nice not to say anything like that. Or let's say you're having a party and it's an Evite and people can comment. A comment I had one time from a party was, oh, you guys throw such a great party every year. I'm glad you're keeping the tradition. I thought, okay, there are a lot of people, this is the first time that they've been invited. That's so uncomfortable.
Yes.
So just be very mindful of what you say and do and post.
Yes. Okay. Do you have a preference between a formal invitation that you mail and an Evite?
I think it depends on what the occasion is. So if you're having a big Christmas holiday party, I think an Evite is fine. Okay. If it's wedding invitations, oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. I just have been very surprised to hear when people do not send a formal invitation. But the other thing is my son had to tell me, because he's at the age where his friends are all getting married. He said, you didn't RSVP on the website. And I said, but they're sending an invitation. He said, it doesn't matter. He said, you still have to go to the website and RSVP. No. So that's now the expectation. It's very interesting.
That is interesting.
Right? Okay. All right.
Yeah. Because, so
I guess check all the boxes.
To know that. I'd rather just put the little envelope in the mail.
Right. That's what I thought that you are supposed to do.
And you're Mrs. Etiquette.
But now the new generation, this is what they want you to do.
So that's a good question. Can you think of anything else like that that's changed with the generations, that our generation versus
I think so many things. So I did a little post the other day on who pays for what for weddings.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. So my girls are married, but still, I wonder.
People need to know.
Yes.
Traditional etiquette says the bride's family pays for the wedding. The groom's family pays for the rehearsal dinner. We now have the welcome parties that have come into play. I assume it's because people live different places now. You have so traditionally, as you know, the rehearsal dinner, you are obligated to invite all of out-of-town guests. Yeah. Now there's so many destination weddings or people live everywhere. Everybody seems to be an out-of-town guest. So what do? I think a welcome party is nice. So you have your rehearsal and then everyone could go to the welcome party. Or maybe some people will say, well, we'll have a more intimate group for a dinner and then later we'll have the party for all the guests. Mm-hmm. But you need to somehow include all the out-of-town people to say, we're glad you're here. We will feed you at least, cocktail bite-sized food, something, just to say thank you for making it out here, because it's a big expense. Yeah. Something that I like, but I have 3 boys, so I'm not paying for girls' weddings. But something that I like is I have a niece who gets to be asked in a lot of weddings. It is so expensive. Yes. She's 23, 24. She's not 24, but she's been in weddings for several years. Yes. And between going to the city, renting a hotel or VRBO, sometimes getting transportation, the dress, It's a lot.
Hair, especially for a 23-year-old budget.
Exactly. And they'll say you have to use our hair and makeup, and they're not paying for it. She has to pay for it.
That's not that.
I don't think that's right.
Right.
So back in the day, the bride's family would pay for the bridesmaid's dress. I understand not everyone can afford that, but if you're going to request hair and makeup, I think that's something that you need to get covered for those girls.
Yes.
And if you say, well, I can't really afford it, well, maybe don't spend it on something else. Look at your whole budget and say, something I need to put into the budget are the dresses for the bridesmaids, because you know what? You're not going to wear it again, no matter what the bride says. Oh, you'll wear it again?
Yeah.
You're not going to wear it again.
No. So who
that's
pays
important.
for that party at the beginning for everybody from out of town?
For the welcome party, that would be the groom's family.
Oh, good.
That would be the good.
Good. So good. Well, I feel like,
and someone asked me, my sister said, oh, so-and-so, a friend of hers said that the groom's parents are supposed to pay for the alcohol. Traditionally, they do not. Now, I'm just telling you what tradition is.
Versus the new age.
I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I think it's good to know what the tradition is. But something that parents might say is, as the bride's family, I'm giving you this much. Groom's family giving you this much. Figure out what you want to do.
Yeah.
As a groom's parents, though, I'm a little control freakish in the way, probably for what I do. I would want to say, well, this is what I want for the dinner. This is what I feel good about. So you just have to have those conversations and figure it out.
So if the groom's parents are paying for like rehearsal dinners and all, are they in control of that guest list and the bride in control of the other guest list?
Yes. And so I've been concerned, once again, as a groom's parent, am I going to get as many people to invite? So I've had people say, oh no, it should be even. That if you get 200 guests as the bride's parents, I should get 200 guests as the groom's.
Yes.
Once you get that limit, if there are more people that you want as the groom's parents, then I think it's appropriate to say, do you know what? I have about 10 or 20 people more that I'd like to invite. If possible, I would like, is there room? I will pay for those additional people. I think that that's the nice thing to do, because you don't want to put the burden on those parents if they can't afford it.
Right. You could write a whole book, or maybe you already have on wedding etiquette.
No, you're right. I probably should.
Really could.
But it's funny. So some of the comments I got was, well, people can't afford this or this. I understand. And I'm not telling you how to, I'm just saying these are the etiquette rules, but you need to work it out.
Negotiate.
For however your family needs to work it out.
This sounds like good practice for marriage,
Yes.
If you can't work it out for the wedding.
This. But unfortunately, it's usually the parents who are battling. Usually, I have a friend who said that she said to her mom, I'd like to invite these 20 people to my wedding. And the mother said, there's no room. And she said, it is my wedding. And she said, oh yeah, you're right. I guess it is.
Wow. Wow.
I thought that was funny. But I think a lot of moms are, I didn't have the wedding I wanted, and so this is what I want. And maybe that's not what the daughter wants.
Wow.
Or maybe your family doesn't drink as the bride's family, but the group, alcohol is important to our family, so we'll pay for it.
There you go.
So I think that there is obviously room to compromise, and it's good to have these discussions.
Yes.
But
there's a lot to think about. I'm glad my girls are married.
Yes, be glad.
Okay.
Be glad that's behind you.
Oh, not just a wedding, party in general. What do you do when somebody's been overserved?
Oh, gosh.
That's hard.
Yes, definitely cut them off as soon as possible and then send them in an Uber. So we had that at a party.
Isn't that wonderful? We have Uber
Yes,
now.
it is such a...
When we were younger, there was
I know. It was like, good luck.
Yeah.
Try to get a cab.
Or there's the couch.
Yes.
In the morning.
So we had that where a young lady was overserved and a gentleman, I say that loosely, a man said that he would take her home. I was like, oh, I don't know about this. And so luckily someone else stepped in and had a talk with him and said, okay, you said I appreciate if you want to escort her in the Uber, but she is to get home and then you are to leave. So make sure that that is clear. But I think it was nice, if he had good intentions, to go with her in the Uber, because you can't just send a drunk female or probably even a drunk male
Right.
in an Uber. So it's nice if someone can go with them.
That
But yes,
would-
if there is no one, then there is nothing wrong with saying, you know what, you're staying the night. Oh, I don't know where your keys are. Sorry. Just stay the night.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Or I'll drive your car home, something.
Gosh, life can get messy.
It can, yes.
Wow. Okay. Once you get up from the table, let's say you're eating a holiday meal and you want to go to the restroom. What do you do with your napkin?
That's a great question. It goes on your chair.
On the
So
chair?
it starts out obviously right next to the forks, or sometimes in a napkin ring holder on a charger plate, or fans out and
Yeah, pretty.
yeah, and a duck or swan or whatever.
Yeah.
But, okay, so you put it on your lap and then you say, excuse me, and you put it on your chair. And then when you're done, it gets folded back and goes where the forks were.
When the meal's over.
Yes.
That's good to know. Okay. What if you have, my mother and I, since we did weight loss, we used to call them food pushers. What if you have a food pusher that like insisting on you taking seconds?
Oh, wow. Okay. Just say, okay. And then just look like you're engaged with your food. Just like if you don't like what is served, I always tell kids.
Yes. What do you do?
Don't, because I was with someone one time and he would just, and I'm like, no. You have to look like you're, and then people are like,
Move the
oh,
food around.
right. Or little kids. I'll ask this to the kids. I'll say, so what do you do if you don't like what is served? And they'll say, you ask them for a special meal or to make you something else. No, don't even do that to your poor mother or nanny or whoever's making you the food. So you don't say anything. You just say, all right, and just look engaged with your food. And when you're done, you're done.
Oh, that's cute. Did they say, can I go raid the pantry
So,
later?
well, yeah. And so that's another thing. Yeah, that you shouldn't do. But
Yeah. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Okay. Let's see. Okay. It's holiday season. You don't know, what religious views or holidays somebody celebrates. If you're a Christian, is it okay to say Merry Christmas? Should you say Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah? What are your thoughts on that?
if you don't know, just say happy holidays. I think that's safe and it's good. And if they're going to be that obnoxious and say, well, I don't celebrate anything, well, you probably don't want to be friends with them anyway.
That's true. I just would say, bless your heart.
Because that covers a lot.
Yes, is that not the greatest saying in the world?
It is. It really is.
Anything.
You can say anything that you want, and then just bless their heart.
Bless your heart covers a multitude.
Oh,
of
it does.
sins.
It's great.
Yes. Okay. Let me think of another one. Oh, you said you know some good ones at this. Disagreements at the holiday table.
Okay, so I don't say sex, politics, religion to the kids, but I'll say inappropriate topics or racy topics, politics, religion, things that you should never discuss that people just now seem to discuss. So
Yes.
in this day and age, you don't know what people's opinions, what their views are. I remember one time when my husband and I were in our early 20s, we went to vote in the primary. And so we go up to the party and the guy stopped us at the door, said, oh, no, you don't vote here. You go down there and vote. He could tell what party we were. It was so funny. But I think that was common back in the
Yes,
day.
it was.
Well, now
Yes.
with Trump, with President Trump, you don't know how people feel. Some
Right.
love him, some don't love him, some are Democrat. There are a lot of Republicans who are like, I'm Republican, but I don't like him. So you just don't know. And people are so passionate. You don't want to get into that conversation
No,
with someone,
nobody's
especially
gonna-
not at dinner.
Yeah.
And so in
No.
my family, we have some very liberal people. We have some very conservative people. So we try to just steer away from that topic. If someone goes down that road, down that path, then you just change the subject as quickly as possible. That's all you can do. And that's your job as a hostess. Or if you're one of those people like me who just start feeling uncomfortable and think, I should do something in this situation, oh my God, I love your ring. Or, oh gosh, this table looks amazing. This food is so delicious. Anything to
Change
get
it.
them off topic.
I like that. Okay. What about pulling out the cell phones over dinner
No,
table.
bad idea. And the funniest thing is when I tell kids, I'll say, never have cell phones at the table. But my dad does all the time. So when we used to have landlines, when it would ring during dinner, the kids would say, aren't you going to get it? No, there's nothing more important than this, than us sitting down having this meal.
Mhm.
So I tell people, if you're at a restaurant and you have to check to see if your friend's coming, or with teenagers, a lot of parents say, I will give you this phone, but when I call or I text you, you better answer. Okay. So you can announce that, oh, my mom's calling, excuse me. If it's more than a 5-second conversation, yes, I'm fine, thanks, bye, then you get up from the table and you take the call.
That's good.
But at least announce and tell what you're doing.
Yeah. I wish I could remember exactly how I heard it. The other day, somebody was talking about a dad that maybe had grown children and they'd get together for dinner, and it was like whoever gets on their phone has to pay for dinner.
Oh, okay. That's a great idea.
And I thought, I like that.
Okay, so something I've done before, if someone's on their phone, I have gotten my phone and texted them, please get off your phone. Then they look, they're like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's funny. See how long it takes them to notice. That's funny too.
I bet that's like, they're just attuned.
So like, oh, whoops.
Yeah. Mine doesn't even make a noise if you send me a text.
Okay.
I don't like being connected. Yeah.
Right.
If anybody out there's listening and you know me, just if you need me, call me. Because I do look at it a lot, but it's like, I don't want to be that responsive to technology.
I understand. Yes.
I've never regretted it.
I understand.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Want your opinion on this one? So I have a friend who has decided, instead of buying a gabillion presents for everybody, they've started a stock fund for the kids.
Oh, that's great.
You like that?
Yes.
I do
yes.
too. I think
so. So our first Christmas with our son, we waited so long to have kids that my mother-in-law went crazy. She had like 50 something gifts. He was 5 months old. She propped him up among the gifts. Like my poor mother was like, oh my gosh, I brought him 5 or whatever was an appropriate amount. And I'm like, you're appropriate. She's not. And just ripped, tore through all the gifts, like, oh, this and this and this. So after that, my husband's like, that was very nice, but can you please I'd rather like save money in the college fund, whatever.
That's
hilarious. Yes. So my dad ended up giving the grandkids a certain amount every year for their birthday and for holiday. And then my mother-in-law found out about that. So she started matching it and doing the same. And they've started out in life in the positive instead of the negative. So it's really nice. And also my husband works for Merrill Lynch. So he taught them how to invest and what stock, kids love stocks. For example, I always say to my husband, like, we have Amazon, right? Because I feel like I've contributed.
Truly.
I mean, that and Apple, like they own me. They own me. Yes. On a day that an Amazon package does not get delivered. So it's good to be. So kids, you can say, oh, you like doing this, you like doing that. I had a son who was a sneakerhead for a while, and so he was in Nike. You can really get kids enthused, interested, and you can make it fun where they can say, oh my gosh, look at all the money I've saved.
Yeah.
Kids have so many, something Donald Trump said that I do agree with. He said kids need like 3 toys or whatever. They don't need a bunch of stuff. We are such a consumer-ridden society. Mm-hmm. They only can play with one thing at a time. Yeah. And I used to rotate the toys. I'd put stuff away, bring it back out. Because, I forgot about this, because they get overwhelmed. So they're going to get enough stuff no matter who they are or where they live. So I think that saving money is the best gift that you can give them.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, here's a biggie for the holidays. What do you think about regifting?
That's a good one too. If you're going to do that, just be very careful. So one time I had a housewarming party, and so back in my early 20s, someone gave me like a fajita skillet or something. So I open it. I'm like, oh, it's from Cindy and George. And then when I opened the box of the actual, this other card came out. And I was so confused, like, what? Then I figured out they regifted it. It was given to them from someone else and they regifted it. I'm like, okay, all right. And it makes you feel terrible. So make sure, or another time, I tried to regift something to someone. I just had a baby, friend just had a baby. I got 2 of the same books.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay.
I mean, it kind of makes sense
right,
in some
it does.
sense.
So I'm like, okay. Because I feel like, sort of like when you give to charity, you're like, give to Goodwill or somewhere. Okay, I can't use it. Let me pass it along. Better than a landfill.
Yes.
So I gave it to her, and then I opened it. I saw that someone wrote in the book, to Griffin, da, 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 da. So I said, oh my gosh. I said,
I get it wrong.
I said, oh, do you know what? I see that Griffin must have gotten hold of a marker or something and marked it. Let me get you a different one. I am so sorry. She's like, oh, no. I'm like, oh, no. Yes. So just
You handled that really good.
thanks.
Yeah.
I would triple check. Just make sure.
Make sure.
Yes.
There's no hidden
there's
messages in
right.
there.
That there's nothing in there that says this is regifted.
Yes. Okay, then this is an awkward one. When somebody gives you a gift and you don't give them a gift.
It's really not. So
It's not?
I've heard people lie, say, oh, yours is coming, whatever.
Yes.
Or I've seen people say, oh, I'm so embarrassed that you gave me a gift and I don't have something for you. Just say thank you. That's all you have to do. And you don't have to run out and get them something. I've had that happen before too. Like I dropped off baked goods or something to some. No, just say thank you. You do not have to do that. The next time it's that holiday, their birthday, okay, you can give them something.
Yeah.
Or if it's an equal amount of, like, oh my gosh, they gave me such an expensive gift and I only got them this. Don't worry. It's a thought that counts.
Yeah.
There's no reason to say that you're embarrassed. Just say, oh, thank you. End of story. And write them a handwritten thank you note.
I like that. Ah, there you go. Handwritten thank you note.
Rare. Do not fill it. I always tell the parents
They
when
are
I give
rare.
when I tell this to parents, they get very defensive. Do not get the fill in the blank for the kids' parties. Dear Marsha, thank you for the truck that you gave me for my birthday. No, if your child is not old enough to write, then you write it and don't do it in their voice. Just say, thank you for giving Billy the truck for his birthday. We really appreciate it. He's playing with it all the time with his brother, or if someone gives you something, it's displayed in my living room, whatever it is. And then once the child is old enough to write, what I used to do is I'd write out their thank you notes on a piece of notebook paper and they would just copy it. And then one day I remember my youngest one's like, I don't need your note. I can do my own. Okay, good.
Glad.
Glad.
That. That's good to know because I have 2 5-year-old grandchildren, a girl and a boy, 6 weeks apart. And they just had a wonderful birthday party on Friday with ponies and bounce houses. They really haven't had birthday parties up to this point, so it was really cool.
That is cool.
And with all the gifts, my daughters are going, there's a lot of them without tags.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
right.
We're like, we just may say thank you for coming, to the pony party. It was great to see it, whatever. So
that's nice. And it's awkward just to call someone, did you give them the...
I know.
Because you just don't know how to...
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's so nice. Write a thank you note. Don't mention the gift. And then the person will say, oh, or maybe they won't.
Right.
Just want to make sure that you got my
Yeah.
whatever. And also if someone said, so when my mom passed away, people sent flowers and I wanted to write them a thank you note, but right away I would text them, thank you so much. I just received your delivery. Then I would send out the thank you note. And so there was a friend who sent a charcuterie board and it never got to us. It got delivered somewhere else. And so the next 2 days later, she's like, did you get something from me? I said, no. And so we figured it out. And she's like, well, I knew that you would have said something. So I think that that's good.
I like that.
If you can't write the note right away, then at least acknowledge it and then make sure that you write it later when you can.
So I've had notes after an older person has passed away that are like, they almost look like how wedding invitations used to look in my day. All the beautiful script engraved. So I have gotten a couple that were engraved like that and said, thank you so much for da-da-da. And then it was just signed.
Oh,
so is that okay or not? Especially like if the person's way up in years.
Right. So So they didn't write you a note. They
It
just,
was an engraved note that they sent to everybody.
oh, I'm not a fan of that, to tell you the truth. Now, I know for funerals, some people, they'll get the card of the memory thing and maybe they'll say, Elise, thank you so much for coming. That's appropriate. But anytime that you can just write a handwritten thank you note, I think is I have a friend whose husband just passed away at a young age, and she said that those notes are what has got her through it. She just looks at them and looks at them.
Yeah, that's neat. That's neat. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go. Babysitters, teachers, mailmen, UPS guy. I know that's really broad, but any thoughts on Christmas and holidays and what do you do for those people?
I think most people appreciate cash, to tell you the truth.
The cash is so easy.
It is so easy. And so the rule that I've heard that I go by for a housekeeper, if you pay them $100 a week, then you give them $200 that week is a bonus. Okay. And so now if this is someone that let's say that you're very good friends with your housekeeper or whoever it is, maybe a gift you feel like is more appropriate. But I think tipping at the holidays for the hairdresser, the makeup person, whoever it is, I always give extra. Another thing I'll do is I'll get a family Christmas card and I'll put cash in there and give it to them for their tip.
I like that. That just takes all like I have a male hairdresser and I'm like, I don't know what to get him.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's the easiest.
Okay, so in the past, though, I said Amazon. I've given Amazon gift cards.
That's great.
Is that okay?
No, absolutely. I think that's great. So my mail carrier, someone told me, they said, oh, well, I was talking to him and he's working on his house. And I said, oh, okay. So I got him a Home Depot gift card.
There you go.
So I think that that's nice too. Because some professions, I don't know if mail carriers legally can take cash from people. So if it's a situation like that, maybe a gift card is more appropriate.
Okay. I'm going to keep that one in one. Okay. What about at work? Gift exchanges and stuff at work. You have any advice there?
I heard an etiquette rule, and I must say I don't agree with this, that you should not gift a boss. I disagree with that. And you know what? Something that if you're unsure, something you could say to your boss or coworkers, do you all exchange gifts around here? And just ask whenever you're unsure. And what's the dollar limit? Sort of like if you're dating someone new and there's nothing wrong with saying, we're exchanging gifts. Should we put a dollar limit on it? Just anything that makes the situation not uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. That way, once again, Yes. what the rules are. But I think that if you just want to give someone something because you appreciate them, whatever the dollar amount is, that's so nice. Because also you don't want to overdo it where they're like, wow, what is this? This is too expensive. Yeah. So I just think something nice at the holidays. And like baked goods are good. Like there's so many great places around here that have amazing cookies or cake balls, whatever it is. I think that people appreciate that too.
Yeah. So I'm glad you said that because I've got a pecan place. And so I'm thinking,
right.
I'll just give them some pecans. And some of them have a regular or sugary or spicy. And I felt like that was fairly safe, especially if it was somebody that didn't get me something.
Right. Or we have a friend whose son was in Boy Scouts and their troop would do the wreaths. So we'd send wreaths. I'm like, that's great. He's supporting his son, supporting the Boy Scouts. And how nice that I have a beautiful wreath.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay, so I think we've pretty well got what I needed. What else can you think of anything else for the holidays we ought to talk about?
I would just say if you're invited, even if to someone's home for the holidays, even if it's a relative, just be very mindful of, may I bring something? Ask to help clean up. Yes. So traditional etiquette says, Emily Post would say that you don't offer to clean up. But when that was written, it was like in the 20s and 30s when everyone had servants.
Right.
So now we don't have that as much. And so always offer to be as helpful as possible. And when you walk in the door, and these are things that you think are basic, but I have someone who comes to my house every year who doesn't do this. You find the host and hostess, say, hi, how are you? Thank you for having me. If you brought them something, hand it to them, and then make sure that you thank them when you're leaving. And don't sneak out ever. That's another thing. I would say if you have to ever leave an occasion early, when you RSVP, I would call the host or hostess and say, just so you know, I have another party. I have this. I'm going to leave at 8:00. And then you can find them and say, thanks again, and leave.
So tell me if I've been a bad girl. Sometimes you can tell, like, somebody, you know how people will capture you at a party?
Yes.
And I want to say thank you to the host, let's say, and
Yes.
somebody just, I will literally interrupt and go, gotta go, thank you so much, hoping they'll still engage. Is that bad?
No, I mean, sometimes you have to
Otherwise, I'll be there for 30 minutes.
Right. No, if the hostess is talking to someone, I'll just say, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I have to go, thank you so much, and leave. That's fine. So don't worry.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as a hostess, I don't like it when people have said, you're leaving already? Oh my gosh.
No,
right. That makes you feel bad too.
Yes.
So that's why I'd say if you have to leave early, just give the reason. And if someone who hasn't warned you that they have to leave early, if they're there for 2 seconds and then they leave, just say, thank you so much for coming. End of story. Don't make them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to go back to what you said about helping if you're at someone's home. So we actually met at a friend's lake house.
Yes.
So I have a lake house and my 2 daughters have lake houses. And I'm giving away a secret to anybody out there. There are certain people who will help you a lot and certain people who won't. And when you're trying to, like at a lake house, you've got to get sheets washed, beds made.
Right.
You've had to serve those people every meal because they're your captive guests. You've taken them out on a boat. You've taken them fishing. The people that are first on my list to invite next time are the ones that helped.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
It's like, to me, it's you can't even imagine what a help it is for the person who's entertaining.
Yes.
And my daughters will talk about, such and such. So she was just in the kitchen with me helping load the dishwasher and she unloaded the dishwasher.
Yes.
And I mean, because really, I think everybody wants an invitation to come back when they've done something like that.
Absolutely.
So you just need to be a great guest and realize, like you said, remember that movie, The Help?
Yes.
Like people
right.
this out. There was The Help and servants and all that, and it's us these
right
days.
Most people don't have that. So also something to tell your kids if they ever have a sleepover.
Yes.
Strip the bed, get the sheets, and say, where's your laundry room? Put them there, and then I'll get the comforter and I'll put the comforter on top of the bed and put the throw pillows back so at least it looks presentable. And we used to have, my husband is in a fraternity where the young guys still travel and they would stay with us. They always would leave a note on the pillow, which was very, very polite. And so always ask what you can bring. If they say nothing, bring something anyway.
Yes.
And then you have a follow-up note. And actually, when I left the lake house, they had little magnetic letters, and so I spelled out thank you. I don't know if they noticed it or not. They never said. I don't know. But that's always something nice to do.
You're so right. I'm thinking back to one time in my life, I think somebody put a little thank you on the pillow, and I was like, you're so appreciative. It's like they're going to the head of the list.
Yes. And the other thing is, I don't trust the mail anymore. Every time I send someone a thank you note, I think, I hope to God they get this.
Yeah.
Because I had someone send me something. He's like, did you get my card? I said, no, I never did. Or I'll get Christmas cards back months later. I'm like, are you kidding? And you double check the address.
Yeah.
So it's just common that sometimes they don't get there.
Yeah. It's so true.
But yeah,
or
so
months later.
Right. So if you can have that note ready to go and write it before you leave, that's a nice thing. Or maybe even have a gift that you leave that with them with the note before you depart. That's always nice too.
Very cool. Well, you've given us some great ideas.
Oh, good. Well,
to increase self-esteem and to look good with our friends and to make the other party happy too.
Well, thank you.
I just love it.
Thank you.
So will you come back and do like a general manners?
Sure.
There where we can talk about all this stuff, because this is really empowering to people. You don't have to feel like, what do I do?
Yes, I do. Yes. Once again, people want other people to feel comfortable. They want to feel comfortable and confident about what they're doing.
And whenever I've received a thank you note or I know we're getting started again, but my brother, he really taught his children, and we'll talk about this, to say hello and yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And I'm like, wow, your parents raised you right.
Yes. These little things go a long way.
Yeah, it makes the person with the good manners just look like they know what
Yes.
they're doing in the world. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So thank you, and I hope you have a
thank you.
wonderful
Well,
holiday
thanks.
season.
You too.
Yeah. So y'all join us when Elise comes back, Mrs. McVay, and look up her website. What's your web address?
It's mrsmcveigh.com, MCVEIGH.
And what kind of things do you currently have going on that people might want to engage with?
So we have a holiday camp that's coming up for little kids the weekend before Thanksgiving. And then anytime we have information on there, if you ever want a private lesson or something with getting organized, financial citizenship, or manners.
Wonderful. So what are the ages of the kids you're teaching holiday manners to?
Age 3 through 11.
Wow.
So it should be fun.
Is it like a one day?
It's a 3-hour class on a Sunday, 1 to 4. It's the Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Perfect. That's a perfect time. Okay. Well,
Yes.
if you guys are smart, check into it. We're in
Thanks.
Dallas, Texas, so that's where that's going to be happening. And Mrs. McVay is available to go to her website and find out all that. We look forward to seeing you for our next Insights with Marsha.